world of sports. It was the return of one of my favorite players in the NBA, John Morant, man. He returns, drops 34, and hits a game winner, man. So with that being said, man, how impressed were you guys with John Morant's performance?
Okay,
You want
I'll
me to
go
go?
first.
Go ahead.
I was impressed because I was expecting to be a little more rusty and not as aggressive. He scored. I watched the whole game. He scored the first point and the last point of the game. He was aggressive. I liked what I saw. I want John Morant to get his crap together. Honestly, he grew up middle class. He didn't grow up in the hood. He doesn't need to be living like he's in the hood. Even if you came from the hood, you're making millions now. It's time to turn your lifestyle around. If you feel like you've got bad influences around you, get them out of your life. You're risking way too many millions. I think he's already lost millions of dollars, but it's all in the past. I just hope he keeps his head on straight. He's a hell of a talent. He reminds me a little bit of Westbrook and D Rose. D Rose was heavier, obviously. The Memphis Grizzlies missed them. I think they were 6-17 up until yesterday, so they needed him back. Maybe now they can get on the run. I think the whole West is kind of struggling a little bit. Minnesota's in first, which no one expected. Um, I was impressed. I'm happy for him, and I just hope he keeps his head on straight. And if he does, he's got a bright future and a lot of many millions in front of him, and maybe a championship one day. So I'm happy for him, and I hope he keeps it going.
Yeah, I mean, even though I don't have the time to play with Keo on Twitter and Facebook, Keo knew. Keo knew. I felt like he was trying to get a reaction out of me. I really felt that way. He trolls. He trolls and trolls and trolls. But as far as the question, I'm going to answer the question at hand. I'm with Yvonne. Well, I'm not with Yvonne as far as how surprised am I. I'm not really surprised. It's John Morant. Nobody's ever doubted his talent. Nobody. We understand what John Morant does on the basketball court. Everybody alludes to all the stuff off the court. But on the court, I mean, yes, it's his first game back, but we know John Morant's in the gym hooping. He's just that kind of guy. It just seems like he loves basketball. Yeah, he maybe does things that people don't agree with off the court, but the kid loves basketball. You saw some of his viral videos when he was a kid, him and his dad training. These videos went viral. How much he loves to put the work in. So I'm not really surprised. I'm not happy about it though. It's like a bittersweet thing. I'm happy because I got him on my fantasy basketball team. And baby, that price just went up automatically. I was telling people you can get him for the low while he was out. But now, oh, no. I got him, Jokic, Wemby. Ooh, my team is nasty now. Y'all in trouble. But I was mad because it happened against my Pelicans. And Zion. I know this ain't the topic, Zion. Zion. Don't try to say a word on camera and you don't know how to say, man. This dude said, I don't even know, he tried to say lackadaisical, and I don't know what he said. But I don't know. Shout out to Zion, man, but shout out to Zion, John Morant. We're going to stick with what's going on. He did it against my Pelicans in New Orleans, and he made a great play, bro. And he got it over a great defender in Mr. Jones, if you know what I'm talking about. So shout out to John Morant, though, bro. You're on mute. Herb Jones, for those that don't know, one of the best defensive players in the league.
All right, let's get straight to this right now.
Oh, here we go.
Now, despite I get what I said on social media, it was for promotional purposes because I knew we had the MBS show the very following day, so I was like, "Hey, this would be good." Promote the shows, and I guess I did ruffle some feathers, and I had a feeling I was going to. But as far as am I surprised or was I impressed? I was not surprised at all. I was not impressed at all.
Oh man.
Well, despite him turning the ball over 5 times, he did go 0 for 5 from 3-point field. So a lot of people are pointing that out, but people are calling this like, oh, this is the best comeback performance ever. And I think people are being the prisoner of the moment right now because it's just one game, man. People act like he won a damn championship right now, how they're treating this right now. Of course, I want to see John Morant do good. As far as how I feel towards him and what I actually really think, I'm not gonna spend all the time in the world when it comes to that. But like I said, I was not impressed. He's supposed to be called a superstar. When you're a superstar, you're supposed to perform like that. Let's not act like we didn't see John Morant do this type of damage before all of these, you know, these incidents happened with him. John Morant, it was somebody before all of this. And there's a reason why he was that good at Murray State and people started drafting him. There's a reason why people were saying, hey, maybe we should have drafted uh John Morant over Zion instead. And that's the conversation that people are talking about. So like I said, I'm not surprised if he's a superstar. You're supposed to perform like this. You're supposed to have these type of games. You're supposed to have these type of moments. So that's the thing when I said I was not surprised. Did I expect any rust? I did not expect any rust because you're suspended 25 games. You act like John Morant ain't watching the games. You act like John Morant ain't practicing or shooting the ball around. So I'm pretty sure he was working on his game during that 25 game suspension. So with that being said, like I said, I was not impressed. I expected him to have a game like that, but I think people are going a little bit overboard of what he's doing right now. If you want to give him all the credit in the world, what he did, give Steph Curry what he did last night. Dropping 33 also, because and Steph Curry hit a clutch game winner last night against a really good team against the Boston Celtics, and I think they were down like 10 plus in that game against the Celtics. So
More. I
Well, I
watched
think
it.
I think that what you're missing is I'm not obviously Steph Curry. We've given Steph Curry his flowers over and over and over again, not only on this show, but just as a country, as a world. We respect what Steph Curry does on the basketball court, and it's never a surprise at this moment. When you think about John Morant, think about how good Memphis was with him last year. They were the 2 seed, they were the 1 seed for some of the time, 2 seed going into the playoffs. Yes, they ended up losing to the Lakers, but they were one of the worst teams this year thus far. One of the worst teams. And the Pelicans were, I think, 7-3 in their last 10 games, somewhere around 7-2 in the last 10 games, something around that range. And then when you think about, you have Herb Jones defending you on that game winner. Herb Jones is an elite defender. And I'm not saying because I'm a Pelican fan. Herb Jones is the real deal defensively. And John Morant just made it look too easy. I mean, and when you talk about the three-point ball, that's not his game. I'm not saying he shouldn't make one or two, but we know that's like his game is like Yvonne said. Russ, Derrick Rose. I'm going to the basket. Good luck stopping me. Good luck stopping him. And Herb Jones couldn't do it last night. And I'm not saying it's the greatest thing in the world, but after 25 games with a team that's one of the worst teams in the NBA right now without him, and then the first game back, he drops 30 plus and a game winner against an elite defender, guard him at the end of the game. I'm giving him his flowers. I think it was a good performance because it's something to talk about. John Morant, he's a big name in basketball. We know it's Steph
I
Curry,
think
man. He does that all the time.
I think we're talking about it because of the incidents that he's been a part of, and I think that's why we're talking about. Because I
Well, of
think I think
course.
I think if he didn't even have these incidents and he did that, I don't think the people will be on this topic as much as they are right now. If none of these incidents never happened, but these incidents has happened, and obviously John Morant's been a star before all these incidents, and a major top player in the NBA going through all these drama right now. Of course, people's gonna talk about it, and people's gonna dissect that, and people's gonna follow every single thing that's going on when it comes to John Morant. So I think that is one of the main things, though, because because if it's a huge superstar in trouble, is a huge and major news, and especially when they do good like this.
Yeah, I mean, we know we've seen this before, though. Keo Ray Lewis with the whole situation he had, that became one of the biggest stories in football. So of course, when you have negativity or some type of big thing going on outside, the Michael Vick stuff, that happens. You know, at the end of the day, when they're talking about you off the field or off the court, they're gonna talk about you on the court when you play your first game back.
Yeah, and my last thing, my advice for John Moran is do what you got to do on the court. Once the game's over, go home, man. Just go home and stay out of all this drama and nonsense, man. And we'll see what happens the rest of the season, man. We'll see if he could lead his team to the playoffs, and we'll see, because people got a lot of negative things to say, except me. But
Oh God! Let me ask you this: do y'all think with the record that they currently at, they're currently at 13 in the West? Do y'all think they can strike back and get back into the playoff? I know it's early. I know it's extremely early, but I mean you're asking a lot. The Lakers are the 8th seed right now. Can they get back into the playoff race?
Uh, they can compete to get into the play-in.
Okay.
So I mean, yeah, like you said, they're 13th. The play-in means you're the 10th seed. I'm gonna make a prediction they're gonna get into the play-in tournament, and then it just depends who they play there. Because right now, New Orleans is 7th, and let's say Memphis got to 10th, that means they would play. Or you could have the Lakers drop down to 7. I'm looking at standings as we speak. So I think that the Grizzlies are good enough to come back and make the play-in, and I think they will.
Okay. What you think,
yeah,
Keo?
yeah, I think playing will be definite. Because right now they're right behind the
Utah
Lakers,
and Golden State.
And that
The Suns.
And that's what I was about to tell y'all. Y'all said they can come back, but you got the Suns right there, the Warriors right there. You got to overthrow both of those ball clubs to get into that prediction. Yeah, the Rockets is definitely capable of doing that, but you got to jump the Warriors and the Suns. That's gonna be tough.
That it will
I
be
think
tough,
that the
but
Suns and
we'll
the
see though.
Warriors will go up the standings, but I think that I think that Memphis can still sneak in the play-in.
Okay.
All right, let's move